Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got something special. We're actually going to go through some MLS defensive stacks, and we're going to actually, as you can see on screen, rank them with my podcaster here, on this side I should say. Obviously, Sorare, Jonesy. How are we doing, buddy?
Not too bad, mate. It's a late recording for us, so we're both a little bit tired, but we want to get this out for you
Exactly.
guys.
Exactly. We're committed to the cause, but we're going to get on with it. And obviously, what you may notice, guys, as well, we're doing this tier list, and you're like, oh, who are you doing it on? You're going to have to check that on the All Around So Rare channel, okay, where we actually, me and Jonesy actually had to go through every MLS team, all 30 of them, and we picked, obviously, the goalie, who we believe is going to be the starter, as well as the best defender to put alongside it for the best defensive stack in the MLS. So make sure to check that out. I'll put that in the link in the description below. But yeah, we're going to go talk about these guys now and rank them. So Atlanta, that's how we're starting off. We're doing this alphabetically like we did in those videos. What are we looking like? So is what we decided to choose Guzan and Amador.
We did manage to choose Guzan and Amador. So what I think probably the best way we go about this maybe is to rank each player, and then we'll come to an average. What do you think?
Ranky play in what sense? So out of 10.
So like we would tier list each player, but then we would come to an average. So if I said that Amador is an S tier defender, but Brad Guzan is probably like a B tier goalkeeper, then Atlanta would fall an A tier
Okay,
for me.
yeah, could do. All right, that sounds fair enough. So my thinking is what you've basically just said, that Amador is probably, from what he had shown last season, getting 8 assists in the season, and what I believe it was 11 games, from left back for Atlanta, who weren't actually even, they were obviously uh, didn't have Almiron at the time, and now they got Latte Lath up front as well. Um, I can only just see them obviously scoring more goals now. So yeah, he's definitely going to be an S tier for myself.
Yeah, same for me. Same for me. No, it's just Brad Guzan. I just don't feel Brad Guzan really warrants one of the top two segments. So
Mm,
would have him at B. So maybe Atlanta goes in A.
very, very true. So yeah, I'd say Atlanta A then. You're going to have to remind me for the majority of these teams because you've got the players up the
Yeah.
screen. Austin, obviously we've got Brad Stuver, and I believe it was Casante, if I
Yeah,
remember
Julia
correctly.
Cascante.
Yeah, now Stuver again is probably in line for me, maybe another A tier. Um, solid goalkeeper, isn't all too old. I think at 33. Again, Casante is the one that does ruin the duo. So in which case, then I'll probably put him in a C potentially. I think for him.
That's fine by me. I have Stuver a little bit higher. I have him in S tier because he's one of the top five goalkeepers in the league last season. But
Okay.
I do have Cascante in C. So do you want to agree on possibly B for the duo?
Yeah, yeah. I think B is a fair enough shout. I think overall, obviously, I know we're not talking about attack and stuff. Obviously, losing Jurassic and stuff like that. I just feel like the defense has never really ever been invested in. I don't remember anything anyway for that. Speaking about people who do invest, there's Charlotte. Obviously, I can't remember the goalkeeper now. What's the goalie's name again? Kalina.
Linear.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
it. Kalina. And who did we choose defensively to go alongside Kalina?
We chose Adilson Malanda, 223 defender. Now,
Malanda.
I have Kalinia as the best goalkeeper in the league
Yeah, that's.
off last season, and I probably have Malanda at A tier. So I think this might be the first S for me.
Ooh,
Close. It's like if we were to rank them as well as we do it, I think this would be lower end S for me.
that is true. Looking at a couple of the other ones, I don't think they're going to be the only team in S.
No, they
So
won't.
you know what? I'll let you go this way because you compromised a bit on the Stuber thing. So
Yeah,
yeah, we'll put Charlotte in the S tier. Um, yeah, solid. Obviously, they've done a lot up front. Now, are they going to obviously keep being as defensively sound as they did last season? Who knows? Only time will tell. We'll know in a couple of weeks' time, which is very, very exciting. Um, Chicago Fire, or Chicago Town Pizza, as I call them.
we got Chris Brady and Jack Elliott. Um, I think on taking away the under 23 aspect and like personal bias because we both have him, I think Brady's a D tier goalkeeper.
D.
I mean, he's like the bottom three lowest scoring goalkeepers last season. I don't think he can go really anywhere else.
But for me, Brady is almost in that sort of same caliber or category as like Ivasic for New England, and who else is poor? Like the Sporting Kansas City got goalie, and Colorado, things like that, who just concede a lot of goals because they have a poor defense in front of them. Obviously, I can't sit here and say I've watched a lot of games for Brady. I have watched a couple, and he was all right in them. I wouldn't say he's the worst. From what I've seen, there's definitely people like Drake Callender, for example, who are, I just don't rate at all. Um, but I would put it personally in C. So if you wanted to give it a wiggle room, otherwise, if you're dead set on it, then I'll put it a high D.
The only reason I'm dead set, no, not the whole stack. The whole stack is not a D. I just mean the goalkeeper's a D. So the reason why I've got him a D is because I'm trying to do something from a Sorare point of view, and Chris Brady's Sorare scores are D grade.
That is
So
true.
that's why I've got him in there. The bottom 3 or 4 scores in the league for goalkeepers that are stars. But looking at his new centre back that they've just acquired from Philadelphia, Jack Elliott, I would say if you were to base it off just last season's scores, he's probably a C. But if you were to base it on his all-time scores at Philly, he's probably a B or an A. So I would be happy to put the duo where you were going to put them in C.
In C, yeah, I think C would probably be about right. I
Yeah,
think,
I'm happy
yeah,
with that.
yeah, cool. All right. So we've got C. So we've got Chicago. Funny enough, C in C. Love that.
Yeah.
Cincy now. Now, is Cincy going to be in C? I do not think so. Do you want to remind everybody again?
Yeah, well, I had them as FC Cincinnati, so I've got them down at F. But yeah, C. So Cincinnati, Roman Celentano, or Celentano, sorry, and the partner for him we had was Miles Robinson. So
Okay.
I'll let you take this one because I've got strong opinions on both, but I'll let you take it away.
Well, we had a light discussion about this on obviously the All Around So Rare videos, which again, link in the description, guys. Um, I thought Cincy weren't going to have as good as of a season, purely based on factors behind the scenes, but apparently that's been ongoing for quite some time. So maybe that's not going to really factor into anything. But for me, I would probably, if I was to guess the two, I'd probably put them in the sort of B tier, or maybe high B, low A. I'm sort of in that sort of ballpark because it is Cincy. They do have a lot of attacking threat. Defensively, are they really, really good? I'm not all too sure, but yeah, it's hard. What were you thinking?
So obviously taking away under 23 bias, which is what we have to do when we're ranking these stats because they're for the MLS and not for under 23s. Celentano, he hits the low lows, but he doesn't really hit the high highs. So personally, I've got him in C.
Oh,
But
okay.
Miles Robinson is a very, very good defender. Obviously, US men's national team as well.
Yeah.
And he can hit like the high 70s and low 80s from defense. So I've got him in B. So I'm happy to go where you want to go in B with them.
B. Yeah,
The middle.
I'd say B. So will we say he's better than Austin? I'd probably say so
Mm,
because I think Cascante is really letting that side down.
I probably wouldn't say they're better than Austin. Only because I have Stuver in the top like 3 goals in the league, top 3 to 5 goals in the league.
All right, well let's pop them there for now. We can always have a little chat about maybe at the end to just summarize. Colorado Rapids, Columbus. Do we want to do
Oh, wait a minute. Colorado Rapids, hold on.
Hold on, I know for you, obviously, might be slightly different alphabetically because I've just found this tier list. Okay,
No,
so
but you just throw them straight in D. And yeah, I completely agree. Moving on. To be fair, I have Chidozie in C, possibly B tier, but obviously Zach Steffen's season was horrendous. Hopefully he's better this season, but he's a D tier goalie, so I'm happy to keep them in D for
I'm
now.
I'm just thinking again, so rare wise, like this isn't like personal attacks on them. We don't have any agendas. We're just thinking of the pure perspective of um, which sort of teams do we recommend you to sort of maybe look at rather than others? And Colorado is probably on the back end, and that's why they're
Yeah, I agree.
obviously in D. I think
But if you want
Steffen's
to
an
pick up
okay
that,
goalie.
Gonna pick up a Chidozie though. He's hit 93 last season, and a few 80 scores, a few 70 scores. He's gonna be good this season, I think. But again, if you partner him with Stefan, then you might end up with a 90 from Chidozie and a 20 from Stefan. So might not be the best pairing. So yeah, D's fine.
That's the
Stick him in
problem.
the D.
Right, Columbus Crew. Obviously Shelter in goal. And defensively we went for Farsi, if I remember
We
correctly.
did. We
Okay,
did.
so uh, I'd just probably think again you're looking at that sort of high A. I think Farsi I
Really?
think is underrated. I think he scores quite well.
Wow.
Uh,
Wow. Okay.
and Shelter I think is a half decent goalkeeper. Obviously again taking away that under 23 side of things. Now I'll let you have your say because obviously it sounds like you want to put him in D. What are you thinking?
Oh, I'm not putting him in D. Again, taking under 23 bias aside, Schulte wasn't really very good last season. He had some decent scores, but again, he's like Celentano, where you're going to see some low scores in like the teens, but he never really comes in with an 80 or a 90. His high score was 77.
Okay.
So
How many
with
clean
that,
sheets?
he did have 12 clean sheets, but he doesn't get any saves. So I don't know if that's just because the defense is so good or whatever that could be. Uh,
But Sorare wise, like if he's not the best goalie and he's quite an inflated price because he plays for Columbus and because he has that under 23 utility till July. So again, I've got that maybe in the back of my mind where it does maybe bring him down a peg. But yeah, I would say a low A, maybe a high B then if you're not looking to go into the S's. I think S's was maybe a bit too much of a stretch. But where are we thinking we're settling in?
I think where did I put Salatano in C, didn't I? So I think I'm gonna put Schulte in C, and I'm gonna put Farsi in probably A. So I think high B. I think they're better than Austin.
Yeah, okay. Let's go right there then.
Yeah, that's fine.
There we go. FC Dallas.
So I've got Dallas here. So obviously the goalkeeper is Pies,
Yep.
Martin Pies. And we did say the defender would be a Sass, but Sass isn't there yet. We went with Shaq Moore.
Yeah, that's right. So
Now
yeah, go for it.
Pies is probably high C, low B. And
Yeah,
Shaq Moore is probably high C, maybe low B again. So whichever one you want to stick him in with there, I don't mind.
I'd probably stick him in a high C. I'd say.
That's fine by
I
me.
think Shaq Moore's been off it. If he can obviously replicate the scores he did, I believe it was at Nashville. I can't remember. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was Nashville where he was hitting some
Yeah,
decent peaks. Pies also has obviously that international utility with Indonesia, but that can also be a con if you're looking throughout the season because obviously he can just jet off to Asia and play an international friendly there or a cup. So that's the downside of him as well. But yeah, I'd say a high C is. I'd say they're better than Chicago. That's for sure.
yeah, that's
Um,
correct.
DC United.
Yeah, so here we have Kim Jun Hong, the 21-year-old DC
Mm.
United goalkeeper, and we partnered him up with Aaron Herrera. Um, I don't know if we can really make too much of a comment on the goalie because we don't really know a great deal about him.
No, again, we can only go off the scores that he shows, and I mean, we heard and saw a lot of promise on X, for example, about this guy. Obviously, he's under 23, but yeah, quite inflated because of that. So it has to maybe bring him down a little peg, I guess. But yeah, like you said, it's going to be difficult to sort of. There will be a couple of these teams, guys, where obviously we just got no information on them because they either
Yeah,
haven't got a card or whatever else. But I think DC United, I would say a B is probably a fair enough. High B maybe because obviously Kim looks like a good goal. He's been highly touted, and obviously Herrera's also a half decent little cheap alternative as well for
yeah,
sort of entry level rares that obviously we do. So I'd probably say maybe just under Columbus.
yeah. I think between Columbus and Austin, I mean Herrera last season at the start of the season started off with like two 100s and a couple of like 90s. So he can be a good defender. He's got the potential to hit those high scores. And
Mm.
yeah, I think because we don't know too much about the goalie, I'm just going to probably say the goalie's about a B tier at the moment until we see a bit more. So yeah, I'm happy to stick DC in between Columbus and Austin. That's fine by me.
Good, good. Okay. The next on my list here, I've got down as Houston.
It is, and we still don't even know the starting goalkeeper is for these. But we went with Tarbell, 31-year-old backup from last season. He was the backup at Houston, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then we partnered him up with what will be probably another S tier defender, Michael.
Yeah, that's that's the thing. Like, I think honestly, I was looking at the list initially, and I was thinking, oh, Houston are going to be like an easy S. But then because of the uncertainty with the goalkeepers, it honestly brings them down to like a low A. Um,
I've actually gone lower than that, to be honest.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe potentially like maybe in a high B or something because that goalkeeper uncertainty. Obviously, we're going up again. Shout out to Sorare, providing all the information he does on Sorare Inside. He has predicted, I believe, Tarbell being 85% and Mora is 15, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Tarbell has started all the friendlies, and there's been, I think, 3 friendlies as of time of recording. Obviously, that could change. Could get an injury? Obviously, can happen to anyone. But that's what brings me down, maybe quite a bit. Michael obviously pushed it higher. But I think Houston overall are just a decent defensive team. I know we're doing defensive duos, but you got Michael obviously. You've got oh God, I've gone blank. Got Michael's. What's that
Uh,
guy's name? Sviatchenko. What's that centre back's name?
Sviatchenko, Escobar,
Yeah,
and
Escobar as well. Yeah, so they
Duval.
got I had a bit of a brain fart then, but yeah, you got loads of good players there as well. So, but if we were just to go off Tarbell and Michael, high B.
I think I've probably got him just above DC. I've got Michael in S, and I've got Tarbell in D because I mean it's just like putting a backup in net, really, isn't it? It's
Would
not
you?
ideal for them.
Yeah, would you not? I mean, to be fair to Tarbell, he has had some good scores though when he had played last season. That's the only reason why I'm thinking it's better than Columbus because he had put some half decent AA on there. Obviously, this sort of tier list. I mean, sorry, Houston sort of carried by Michael as well, or Mikkel, whatever his name is, and I would say they're better than Columbus in regards to defensively.
Um,
Where are we dropping it?
Go on, you put
Mm.
them in. We can revisit it at the end, but you put them in above Columbus then if you want.
I
I just
like
think that the goalkeeper is almost like just sticking me or you in there. That's why I'm like so low on the goalkeeper. If there was a tier below D, I think that we would put a goalkeeper in. If
that.
this was Steve Clark though, again, this would be an A tier team because Steve Clark's like a high B, low A for me. But it's
True,
not Steve Clark, so he's
true.
unproven. This guy.
Into Miami.
Oh God, this
Obviously,
is another one.
this is like polar opposites because obviously you've got Drake Calendar, which I've told you before, I just do not rate, and there's a lot of uncertainty at the moment with Mascherano actually came out today or yesterday, I believe it was, and said all the goalies are up for contention of being a starter. There's no guarantee. It just depends who plays the best. So
Mm.
that says to me as well, Drake Calendar is probably going to be gone quicker you know, more than most. So, but then you got Jordi Alba, who, like you said again on the All Round Sora channel for this defensive stack video, you said obviously it's like having a striker up front, like basically in defense. Sorry.
Yeah.
So it's like you've got an S tier with a D tier. So I'd probably maybe say a high C, maybe even mid C. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to sort of do this well.
I've probably got these. I've probably got these just under Houston.
Just under
Because Jordi
Houston.
Alba, after going back and revisiting, I'd say Wagner was probably the best, but Jordi Alba is probably right up there with him, and he probably is. If he's not the best, he's a very, very close. They're like neck and neck. They both sit at the same table, Wagner and Alba. So I think that sort of
That is
puts him up a
true.
bit more.
That is true. But the only way I'd sort of combat that is that obviously Jordi Alba can hit 100, but if Drake Calendar has an error leading the goal or conceding another 3 goals, it doesn't matter. So it's
Oh
like
yeah,
you need to obviously have a fine balance of the two, which is why I don't think this is middle ground, which is what, and you've got the uncertainty of literally three goalkeepers in the running. I can't put it any higher than a C. Honestly, I just think that's the only problem. Like
definitely
you
don't think
said,
it's great.
even if you had like a mid tier goalie, this would be pushing to a high B, maybe even an A. But
I'm
yeah,
not having it in C.
you can't. I can't go any higher. I really can't.
I'll have it lowest point in B if that makes you feel any better. But I would
No.
actually say they're a little bit better because
Sorry, mate. You're on the Sorare Capital channel now, mate. This is going in high C. That's it. Final thing. That's it. I can't go any higher than C. Let me know if you guys disagree with any of what we've obviously what we've
Jordi
put
Alba's
here.
just been shafted right in
No,
front of
because
my
I
eyes.
like Jordi Alba, but again, he is injured at the start of the season as well. Like, there's lots of things to sort of take consideration. But apart from that, yeah, obviously I rate Jordi Alba highly, especially within the MLS. Um, so we're sticking with that. All right. So LA Galaxy is next, my friend. Obviously, what we've gone for McCarthy and
Garces.
Garces.
Yeah.
Um, got much to say on it?
After you just shafted me, I don't even know if I want to say anything again.
I've let you
um,
move to couple. Come on.
all right, okay. So McCarthy, I probably got probably around a mid B tier goalie, but and then I've probably got Garces at like a high A, and his potential could be an S tier, like a comfortable S, because of just how high you can hit scores. So I think just like a low A for these would be fine with me.
I'd probably. Now, this is the question. I agree with EA, but would we rate him higher or lower than Guzan and Amador as a defensive duo? Obviously, Guzan can hit a lot of decent AA. John McCarthy is obviously now an MLS Cup winner. Like, obviously, that's to take in consideration. You've got the scores up in front of you.
Yeah,
But do we say it's yes or no better than Atlanta?
no,
Okay, so they're there, right
my
there,
opinion, no.
right there.
Hopefully they prove me wrong because I do like LA Galaxy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think McCarthy peaks as high as Guzan, and Garces hasn't got the longevity in games yet to prove that he's better than Amador did on that streak of assists. So
Yeah, very true. They
yeah,
both did it over a short period, didn't they? But yeah, Amador was a bit more consistent, I feel, although Garces did hit higher peaks.
did yeah.
Right. LAFC, Los Angeles.
The assist king Hugo Lloris
Yeah, how many
and
assists did he get last season? Was it two or three?
two or three. Let's have a look. Two with 17 clean sheets, a penalty save, and a glass man tackle.
I'll tell you what, and just before we just jump into the duo, I always find LAFC, like when I look at them, they got some really poor results, but then always somehow get in the top four and then get towards the semi-finals and things like that. They do it every year.
They go on streaks, like they go on like 6 or 7 win streaks, and then they'll lose one or two, and then they'll have another 6 or 7 win streak, and then they'll lose and draw a few, and
It's
then
like it's like
that's
Man
how they do it.
City. It's like Man City. They just
Yeah,
lose a
pretty
bunch of
much.
games at the start, and they go on a bloody 10, 15 win streak.
Pretty
Um,
much, yeah.
yeah. So, but obviously, yeah, we've gone Lloris, and obviously we went for your option at the time of the video as well with Hollingshead. Um, I don't know if there's any
I,
uncertainty there, but again, I'll let you explain.
I've got Lloris at high A,
Hmm.
maybe low S, just because of the amount of decisives. I mean,
Yeah.
21 decisives in 43 games for a goalkeeper, a decisive one in every 2 games, pretty much. I think that needs to be respected. And then Hollingshead, he's 50-50. It's such a tough choice. He does peak really high. He did get 9 decisives over the course of the season. If he was 100% starter, I think this would be a low S tier team. But because I can't guarantee Hollingshead is going to start, I think it just has to be a high A, the highest A that we've got, I think.
Yeah, I'd say so because Hollings. There we go. Hollingshead obviously hit quite a few 100s last season as well, didn't he? So as long
Yeah,
as he
right.
plays, and that was all at left mid, I believe, or left wing back, whatever it is they
Yeah.
play again. Yeah, he is. That can be a nice defensive duo and fairly. Would it be cheap? Because Hollingshead probably be underrated.
I think
Lloris is
Lloris
obviously turning 39 this year as well.
in
Um,
season, I think it'd be quite expensive, Lloris. It'd be
yeah,
one of
probably,
the like mid to higher tier ones.
probably. Right, we've gone for Minnesota. Obviously, Dane Saint was it Dane St. Clair and Boxall, Michael Boxel.
Do you
And
want to do it again?
no, I won't do it on this channel. But if you know what we're talking about, go check it out, okay? And leave a comment on here if you know what I'm talking about afterwards. But yeah, we'll go for Minnesota now. Again, very similar sort of story to a couple of these teams where you got one player's good and then one player's just not good enough.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. My rankings are probably Dane St. Clair at low A, high B,
Mm-hmm.
and Boxall. As much as we love him and you chant, he's kind of just
Don't
D.
ruin it.
Oh yeah, sorry, he's D.
God.
So I think high C for these would be probably fair.
I'd probably say so. I wouldn't rate them as high as Inter Miami if they do get their goalie thing sorted out. Are they better than Dallas?
No.
I'd probably put them low
Oh
C.
no, sorry. Yeah. I have them at the highest. I have them higher than Dallas, but lower than Inter Miami. That's where I had them.
Okay, let's pop them there. And I'll take
Just
your.
because obviously the goalkeeper can pull up some nice peak scores, and if they combine with a box all 60, then so be it. It's written in the stars for you.
Very, very true. We've gone to Canada and we're going to Montreal.
Yeah, Montreal, Jonathan Sirois, and we went for George Campbell, but you could quite easily put Joel Waterman in either or, whichever one you feels cheaper. I think Campbell's a bit more expensive because he's on 23.
Yep.
I like them both. This could be another S tier,
Yeah, I agree. I think again below Charlotte, of course, at the moment. But yeah, Sorois obviously again has that under 23 utility. I know we keep saying, oh, got to take that away, but that obviously is an extra bonus to it, but it does make it more expensive, so obviously cancels it out almost. But he can peak quite well. He can do quite well score wise. George Campbell as well can do the exact same thing. They seem to do it together as well, which is obviously why I think we are sort of alluding to putting him into the S tier.
Yeah, they're very much a very good home team. Like when you look at their last 6 games, I think it's six. The 3 home games, he kept clean sheets in all of them. Campbell was putting up mid 70s, and then a 60 in there. And obviously with that clean sheet, what did Sorois give us? He gave us a 76, a 64, and a 67, which combined together is fantastic. So yeah, I think they won't be higher than Charlotte for me, but I think they'll probably be the low end of the S tier, lowish end of the S tier.
Agreed.
So yeah, I'm happy with those. That's fine by me.
The boys in Nashville.
Oh dear.
Mm.
I don't think
Indeed.
they're going to be D, but I think they're going to be close. I think it's probably mid C for me. Joe Willis is horrendous, and his spot is up for grabs, and he's getting on a bit in age. But Walker Zimmerman sort of lifts him up. So
That's
I'm going to
true.
go probably. Do I go lower than Dallas? Probably, yeah, in between Dallas and Chicago.
I would say even just pips Dallas, to be honest. I
Well,
think
what's
Zimmerman
Dallas again?
does. Hey,
Dallas is Pies and who's the other one?
don't know, mate. You got to stop
Oh,
on this.
Shaq Moore. Was it not Shaq Moore?
Um,
Yeah, it was Shaq Moore.
yeah,
He's
then I'd
Pies.
rate then I'd rate it higher than those two.
Yeah, I do as well. What was Minnesota? Minnesota was
Boxall and Dane St. Clair.
yeah, I don't really read them, so that's fine. Yeah, perfect. That's good. I like that.
Cool, nice and easy. New England Revolution. Now maybe last year, obviously we could have how poor and how many goals they conceded. I mean, that probably would have been an easy D, but I think they've recruited really well in their defence, and obviously one of those defenders are that of Mamadou Fofana, who they've recently signed from Amiens in the second tier of the French league, and obviously they got Ivicic as well. Who obviously, again, I thought was very similar to the goalies who were for Sporting Kansas and for Colorado, who had just had a poor defense in front of them. It seems like this year they've been focusing on it.
Yeah, I think I'm still going to keep him in D, but put him at the top of D. Fofana is very good and he's consistent, but he doesn't really peak, so he'll consistently hit your 50s and 60s, which I don't think helped massively on his score. And obviously, Ivasic last season only had 5 clean sheets and a penalty save, and a lot of scores came below 10, and a lot came below 20. So I think high D is fair. I don't think they're better than Brady at Chicago. So yeah, let's stick him on the top of that. We can change it at the end, I guess, if we do change our minds. But I think that's just where I've got them at the moment.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I agree with that. And we can't exactly go off the final scores in the MLS. We only can go off obviously the French tier. So
Yeah,
will he be any better with a new partner and things like this? We're unsure. So that's probably why we're maybe sticking him D. I might have been maybe a bit more nicer if I was doing this video myself, for example. Probably would have put a low C, but
yeah,
I'm fine with doing it for a D at the moment. New York City.
I'm going to let you talk here because I'm going to be very biased. So I'm going to let you talk first and just get your words out.
Cool. Who do we end up going for? We went for Matt Freeze and
Praise to
Martins.
Martins. Yeah.
Okay. To be honest, again, I can't remember what I said in the video. It was only the other day, but I think they're a very like okay defense. So I'm sort of thinking this sort of region, like high C, low B. Um, you're probably going to put them in differently, but I can't remember off the top of my head because again, it's difficult. Obviously, not having it on my screen or Sorare data. The sort of score system, the scoring matrix that those two hit together. But I know Martins wasn't exactly a peaker. He never really hit 70, 80 plus all the time. He hit late 60s and maybe a 70 every now and again. And the same with Matt Freeze as well. So, like I said, I would put him probably low B for that reason.
You're not far away from where I am. I've got Matt Freese in S. I think he's one of the best goalies in the league. Don't look at me like that. You know how good he is. He's been touted to go abroad. That's how good he's been. Not many goalkeepers made that move. So yeah, I think I've got him. Last season he wasn't amazing, but I know how good he is, and he holds that team together. He's like the rock for that team. But then Thiago Martins doesn't. He's similar scoring to Mamadou Fofana. So if I'm going to slate New England, I've kind of got to slate New York. So I think I'm probably around about mid B
Mid B,
for the
okay.
pairing.
Okay. I would probably
So
say
I would say probably just between DC and Columbus.
oh, you think that high? Okay, all right.
Yeah, like right in the
I'll
middle.
let you do that. Just remember that when I argue my point later. New York Red Bulls, the other side.
Yes. So we went for Carlos Coronel and we went for Captain Sean Nealis. Two pretty solid picks, to be fair. I don't think they're quite like S tier, but they got to the final of the cup. Sean Nealis did put up quite a few 70s last season. He had a goal, an assist, a penalty won, and a last man tackle throughout the season. He is prone to sometimes hitting low scores, but I think he's probably around about low B, high C for me. And then Coronel, let's just get rid of his Brazil. Well, you thought it was Brazil, but he's actually Paraguay, the MPs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is a kind of goalie that I like, and I don't think it's going to be too expensive. He can hit the 80s, which is what you're really looking for if you want to see those podiums, the 80 plus scores. Does have some stints where he hits low, so I probably got him at around about low A. So
Mm-hmm.
what did I have Neil aside? I had him at high C, low B, and then him at low A, so probably mid B.
Yeah, I'd probably agree. I think the only thing that puts me off Coronel is those random stints for Paraguay where he doesn't always start as well.
Yeah, and he misses MLS games when he goes on Paraguay duty. That's another like small problem that you get. So he missed a game against Sporting Kansas City because he was away on internationals there. He missed a bunch of games there when it was the Copa America because they carried on playing. And then he had another random DNP in the middle of the season. So yeah, I'm happy to go with what you would prefer here.
I'd probably put them probably in this sort of ballpark around here. I
Yeah,
think I
that's fine.
think I think that's okay. Guys, just a reminder again, if you are still watching, thank you firstly, but also like the video for us and drop a comment of where you maybe put anyone in this tier list differently. Would you put New England S for some reason that because you're drunk or whatever? But yeah, otherwise we're going into Orlando City. Um, this is a fun one. I just straight away think an S tier. Okay,
I don't know if it can be that. I don't.
I
I
do,
love this stack.
I do. No, honestly, I think it's an S tier. In regards to Sorare, the scoring, we got both Galis and we've got what's his name again? Santos, right?
Yeah, Rafael Santos.
Rafael Santos, who again both peak alongside one another. So I'm either going to put him a really high A or a low part of S, personally.
I'll be happy with the lowest point of S, and the reason why I can't put him any higher than that is because Gillespie's like peak score is an 80, and if you want to hit the podiums, you're gonna need you kind of do need those higher like high 80s, low 90 scores from vast
But
majority
to
of your
be fair
players.
to him, the only reason I argue this is maybe because obviously, if I remember correctly, he had a lot of decisive actions as well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Up there again with Lloris, I believe. So
Hmm.
it's not just about maybe he's not peaking so high, but he's consistent and he hits those minimum of 60s that you just need from a goalie these days. And that's why it's so important as well. I don't think, obviously, it's nice to have a goalie that can peak, or hit a clean sheet with some nice, 5, 10, 15 worth of AA, sure. But I mean, if you just hit a flat 60, you're beating 70% of the foot competition already. And that's what
True.
you need to sort of think about as well. So if you're thinking of a reliable goalkeeper, honestly, I don't think there's much more apart from maybe someone like Lloris, because obviously the stats don't lie. Um, yeah, him, Kalina, and Lloris are probably up there, probably the top 3, 4 goalkeepers, I think, in regards to consistency, Sorare matrix scores wise. So I personally would put them in a low S.
I have Gillespie lower than Lloris,
Mm-hmm.
because he don't peak as high, and Santos. He does look great on paper because at the end of the season he was hitting consistent 80s and 90s, and he had like one or two 70s in there. I don't know if I can quite give him an S just for that stint at the end, but if he just carries that form on, he's clearly an S. But yeah, we'll go on leave it in low S now. I would probably put him just below LAFC to be
Mm.
honest. But
And we are as well. We've got to take the financial side of things into consideration as well, because obviously this is so rare. They are quite cheap as well for what you're getting. Like bang for your buck is probably up there with one of the greatest values in the MLS. Because obviously, if you look at the rest of them, Kalina is like 80 quid on his own. I'm talking rare classic. And then obviously, you've got Montreal with Sir Royce. Obviously, he's highly inflated because obviously it's under 23 utility. And then obviously, you just got Galise, who's just a 30-year-old goalkeeper just hitting consistent scores. So, that's why they got to be at least low S tier for me.
that's fine.
Cool. Lovely job. Philadelphia Union, obviously Sarah Deek's team.
Yep.
I rate this quite highly, again, because of the partnership duo that we've gone for, which is obviously that of Andre Blake and Kai Wagner.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, what do you want to say on them?
Um, I think they're both. I don't think Andre Blake's an S tier goalie anymore, but I think he's high A. But I
Mm,
do have Wagner as like up there with Alba as the best defender in the league.
yeah.
So I would probably just sneak them in between. Oh, I'm stuck between going in Montreal and Orlando or Montreal and Charlotte. Do I think they're better than Montreal? Yeah, just yeah. I'll put them into second spot. I don't think they're going to be quite better than Charlotte's defense, but I think they are better than Montreal's. Probably because Wagner really pulls them right up.
That's right. No, I agree. Wagner is probably the best one, but again, it is that will he move or not? I think the loan window's still open, so there might be some clubs out there trying to get him for a loan to buy. I don't know if that's plausible. Um, Andre Blake, like you said as well, he obviously plays for Jamaica, so you've got that extra bit of utility as well. But yeah, just puts up some, I guess, consistent scores. So yeah, we'll just move on now to the Timbers in Portland.
Can you remember who we put in for this?
Crepo
Crepeau is the
and
goalie.
also Bravo, the left
That's
back
correct.
you've
Yeah,
put.
Crepeau and Bravo. Um, I think Bravo was like 50% starter, like Collins said, so I don't think I can put them quite high up. But I think if Bravo obviously does pop off, they keep a clean sheet. Crepeau can hit those 80 scores, so together they can give you like a comfortable 160 off base score. I think I probably got them just below LAFC, between LAFC and Atlanta.
Really?
Yeah, it's almost the same situation as um uh, it's tough. It's tough because I'm quite high on Claudio Bravo, but if he's not a guaranteed star, it's the same situation as Hollingshead. Now, Crepo's not as good as he's probably not as good as Guzan actually.
No, he's not better than McCarthy. He's not better than Lloris. He's not better than I
I don't
mean,
know. I don't know
look
actually.
at
I'm not going to say he's
look
not
at
better
this
than.
one for example. Houston, obviously, we brought him down quite a lot because of Tar Bell. He didn't really get to prove himself. Crepeau was obviously the main goalkeeper. He had stints in and out. Um, I don't know. I can't rate them higher than like a New York City. I can't. It's like mid B
I've got
for
him
me.
higher than New York City just because of the
No,
peak potential, the scoring potential. You got to remember
but
Thiago
there's
Martins doesn't really score higher than the 60,
but there's
and
uncertainty on both parts. You
there
got
is.
it's not just the goalie or just the defender, so we can't put him
I
anywhere near A.
I put them between Columbus and New York City.
Oh, okay, we'll do that.
I think they will be a lot better next season than what they have been.
Cool. Okay, we'll go with that. We got here RSL Rail Salt Lake.
D. Moving on. Rest in
Mm,
peace.
well,
Yeah,
you don't rate. Was it is his name Cabral?
yeah. I mean, if they kept McMath, it still wouldn't be like massively high. They'd probably be like a low B, high C, and they've lost McMath for a considerable amount of time. They've lost the backup for a considerable amount of time. So now they're down to like what would be the third choice keeper, which is a guy that played 3 games for Gremio. So that's a D. Now Justin Glad is very good. He's probably around about a B, but as a combination, see, I would rather move Chicago down and put Real Salt Lake in low C.
All right, okay, let's just do that then. I'll let you have this one. All right, we'll do that.
Yeah, I think that's fair. 'Cause if Zach McMath was here, I think I'd probably have him just behind Cincy, but McMath isn't here, so kind of just going off a keeper that's played 3 games. It's similar to the Houston one, but they don't have that elite S tier defender to back them up. So yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay, okay, we'll do that then. We are nearing the end, so don't worry, guys.
Yeah.
Just stick around again. Just a little like reminder. San Jose Earthquakes. Now, obviously, we've got Daniel, and we've also went for Rodriguez as the best defensive pairing for obviously the Quakes. Again, I like him personally. I think Daniel's quite a fairly solid goalie. Wouldn't say he's an A tier. I'd say he's like a high B. And the same with Rodriguez. He'd probably be up there for me as like an A or maybe a high B again. So I would probably put them in and amongst the sort of Columbus Crew Dynamo aspect of things. I think personally.
Um, we were just so poor last season. It's hard for me to gauge. But Daniel Wood didn't play for the vast majority of the season, so yeah, I actually think if Rodriguez hits the form that he did not last season but the season before, where he was putting up 80s and 90s every few weeks, and Daniel, yields from those clean sheets, I think you could probably put him in A. But
Mm-hmm.
because we can't guarantee it, give him high B, like you said.
I'd be happy to sort of put him in this. Where do you think?
I'd
But
put him ahead of Columbus. I'd have him ahead of Columbus. I know they were really bad last season. People are probably going to slate us in the comments for that. But I think this season, if Daniel stays fit and Rodriguez regains that form from a couple of seasons ago, where
yeah,
he's one of the best defenders in the league, they could
yeah.
easily be higher.
Yeah, exactly. And just reminder, guys. Obviously, again, this is so rare wise. This isn't. I'm sure Columbus's
Yeah.
defense is a lot better overall than Quakes, but I think just as these two duos, in regards to so rare and combining those two for your MLS in season classic, wherever you choose to go down, this is what we would sort of recommend. Okay, so don't fight us or dislike the video. Just like the video for me. We got the new boys, San Diego
Are they just called San Diego? Do they have an ending to their name?
FC.
Brilliant. D. Moving on.
Um, it's harsh to say D.
They're unproven. I can't really give them better
Exactly.
than a D.
I'm just gonna give him a low C.
No, no, no. Come on. See, you're putting in a goalkeeper that's not guaranteed to start. That's 24 years old, that's played 1 game in his career, partnered with a defender who's the best of a bad bunch that literally only played 9 games
Uh,
last season.
Maybe we should have done another tier of undecided because
They
he's
should be
he's
the
hard to say.
lowest section in D, the very, very bottom.
Okay, well they're there now. They're there. You happy?
Gotta be. They're not going to do anything, I don't think. There's very rarely is a team that is newly founded done well in the first season. Only Orlando did okay, and St.
St. Louis.
Louis did well in the first season. Other than that, everybody did ass, pretty much.
Seattle Sounders. Your boys, I'll let you take it away.
Easy S. Easy S.
I am inclined to agree. Now, whereabouts in this? I actually think Montreal should be lower. I think it should be like this,
I think
maybe.
Sounders should be first. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Second, I think. I think they're better than. Actually, to be fair, because of Wagner. Can we not change Wagner for someone a bit shitter, then we can sort of move it around a bit? No, Yamar is extremely good. Yamar's S tier, Fry's A/S.
To be fair, like
So
just
I
watch what
like
I'm
that
doing.
actually.
Obviously,
I like that.
I personally think it should be, hold on, like something like that.
Do you?
Yeah, honestly, I do think. Although Charlotte were
Yeah,
again as a
yeah.
defense really good last season, I think as
I
a
agree.
duo, it's not as good as Wagner and
I
Yeamer and
think
things like that.
potentially you could possibly move Charlotte another one down, just because Melander's probably like a B-ish.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah,
I do
I think that's
agree.
probably fair. Yeah, I agree with that.
Cool. Good. 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 Good.
We were just too high. We got excited with the Kalinja hype. We just took it in first straight away.
This is true. Sporting Kansas City. I mean, again, very much like Colorado in my eyes. Like, who have we got down?
Do you know what? I take it back. Put these below San Diego. John Pulskamp and Leopold, who's not. Although he changed Leopold, he looked all right, and then it turned out he wasn't probably going to be starting, so he changed to Volida. Yeah, maybe just in front of San Diego. The worst in Colorado, though. I think.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. At least Colorado Rapids had a couple of people who could peak and get you out of some crap. But okay, we'll just move on again. Not much to say on that, to be honest. We got St. Louis next, though. Jonesy, who we thinking? Where are we thinking?
So we've got Berkey and Kessler. Now, it's an interesting one again because Berkey can hit peak scores, but just doesn't really hit them often. He's not really got a great defense in front of him, so I'd probably have him as like high B, low A. And then Kessler, just
I've popped him in already. What are you thinking there? I'm thinking low C
where's it
because of
gone?
Kessler.
I think they're better than Dallas.
I think Shackmore has a bit more to him, doesn't he, than Kessler?
I
And
don't
Pies
know.
is very similar in
I think they've
regards to
got very
Berkey
similar
scores.
scoring. They've got very similar scoring, Shatmore and Kessler.
You know
But I
what?
think Shatmore has more potential to score better because he's a fullback and he likes to attack. But I
That's
actually do have I have Berkey ahead of Pies by quite a considerable amount.
but Kessler's like a D tier pick for me.
Oh, I have Kessler at low C.
Yeah. You know, I'm going to leave him there. I think that's fair. We can have a little chat about it maybe for a couple of minutes at the end because
Boo!
obviously the video's getting on and people obviously have grass to go touch. You got Toronto FC now. Obviously, you had a very poor season last season, um, and this is why because of who is in goal and who's the defender we chose.
Sean Johnson, future retiree. Um, Sean Johnson is in goal. I can't remember who we put as the defender because it's not showing me. Oh, Kevin Long. Sorry, it did show me. Kevin Long was
Exactly.
the defender. I think again this
Look at
could
that.
be. Look at what.
I'm pointing towards the card on the screen at the moment. All right,
Oh
right
right,
here.
okay, I like it. Yeah, look over here, guys,
Yeah,
or over
see,
here, wherever you
see,
got me placed.
see. I'm gonna have to edit that so you're like moving around now. Great. No, yeah, they're triple P. I think.
I think we put them probably just above Sporting KC, but lower than Colorado. Yeah, there's a lot of detail. No, one up. Yeah, that's it. Good,
There
we
we go.
got it.
Cool.
There's not a lot in A, is there? There's not a lot of good teams to choose from.
No, no, but we'll have to have a little think about this afterwards and see if we can even it out. But I'm not. I'm happy with it so far.
I am as well. I'm quite happy with
Um,
it.
Vancouver Whitecaps.
So Vancouver Whitecaps was Takoka and I can't remember his name. The other guy because he's got
Did
screen.
choose Laborda?
Laborda, that was it. Yeah, Matthias Laborda, which I'm just gonna pop up here because I don't remember his scores. Yeah, so Matthias Laborda and Takoka, I'm not massively high on them, but I'm not like super low on them either. I think they're again just like kind of like a probably a low B for me. Laborda can score well, 70s, and he's hit a couple of 90s. Takoka was okay. Um, yeah, I think I can't really go much. I think if I was to put them exactly in, yeah, that's probably right. I don't think I can put them ahead of Cincy, so
Yeah, I'd probably say so as well. I'm looking at this now. So we're saying obviously the top five best defensive stacks. You go Philadelphia, Seattle, Orlando, Charlotte, and Montreal.
Yeah,
Um, to be honest, the only problem with LAFC's one is that of
Hollingshead. Yeah,
Hollingshead. If there's nobody else that are really stand out that can actually peak.
yeah.
I'm
I
almost
don't think I don't
tempted.
think you can put him in S. You can't put him in S because of
I'm
that 50-50.
I'm half tempted to bring Montreal down to high A, still above LA,
No,
because when I look at those five at the moment, I think there's a big difference between the fourth to the fifth, like the top four to the
I've got
five.
Montreal very, very close to Charlotte. I've almost got them overtaking Charlotte in my head.
Mm, okay, okay, we'll leave it there then. I think
Do you
we
know what?
got.
Actually, move them above Charlotte because George Campbell scores much better than Malanda, and I know Kalinja is probably the best goalie in the league, but Sir Royce is still pretty decent.
All right, I'm just gonna have to
That
sit down and accept it on my own channel. That's fine, no problem at all.
the
Um,
guess is always right, right? The
yeah,
guess is always right.
apparently right, apparently so. But I think again, when we're looking at the D tier, that's probably about right. Brady's not good enough. Ivasic is obviously unproven with his new defense in front.
Yeah,
Colorado, Toronto, Sporting obviously speak for themselves, and the San Diego is more undecided. But then again, I'd probably put them there maybe anyway, maybe a low C because they got Dos Santos from Inter Miami and they got Paddy McNair and things like this. Like they don't exactly have massive amount of caliber. They've just obviously bought Drea and Lozano and things like that, so they've just top heavy again like most MLS teams. But are we happy to call it quits there? Are we happy there? Did you want to have a just one or two more?
no, yeah, I'm good with that. I think that's pretty good. I think we've done a good job. I think that's
I
good.
I am inclined to agree. So, guys, that is the end of the video. Make sure again, remember, I'm plugging the All Around Sorare channel because obviously we have gone through all these guys a bit deeper analysis on every team. There's two parts to it, so make sure you go like, comment, and subscribe on the All Around Sorare channel. And if you like the content you see today, make sure to thumbs this up. Go check out my friend here, Sorare Jonesy. And yeah, Jonesy, mate, you got anything else to say before we go?
No, just like, comment, and subscribe, guys, to both channels, and we'll. I guess we'll see you in the next one.
Yes, we will see you soon, guys. Peace out. Bye bye. And just a reminder, guys, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and also hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I upload.